Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and I know it's been forever, but you guys can't judge me. My name is Faborede, as you all know, and we're here with somebody very important. I can see it's a fine day. But yes, we're going to be okay. I recently got the Chevening scholarship, and I've gotten tons of messages and tons of DMs as to how to apply, where do I go to, what's the process like, and I decided to do a video. I also did a blog post, and I'll leave the link down below for you guys to click. People who don't really like to watch videos, so I did a blog post as well. But I deemed it fit, if that's the right phrase, to get somebody who is experienced. So this is Jibike, and she's the program officer for Chevening Nigeria, and she's going to tell us the do's and don'ts of how to apply. So yeah, everybody say hi to Jibike.
Hi everyone.
Yeah. So first things first, before we go, I say anything else. I got a lot of DMs saying, how do I apply? And for me, that was like, have you even done your research? Have you gone on the website? What have you done to say, okay, Tifa, put me through? What exactly am I putting you through on? So my own first tip before we go to Jibike to talk about this is research. Always know what the application entails. Even if you don't know how to answer the questions in the application, know what it's about. Who is Chevening? What's the organization about? How long have they been in existence? Who do they give this scholarship? Is your country part of the on the list of countries that they give? You know, all those things are important to know. A lot of people came and said, oh, Tifa, put me through. And then I asked, put you through on what? And they say, oh, how to apply. I'm like, have you gone to the website? No. And I'm like, I can't really help you if you've not started anything, you know. So Jibike, what do you really think is the number one reason why Nigerians don't really get the scholarship, or the applications are usually debunked before it gets to the interview stage?
Well, just to echo your words about research, a lot of people don't even take the opportunity to even get to know what the requirements are. Do I really meet these requirements? What do I need to do to ensure that I'm capturing all of my experiences right? What people that have been on this scholarship before? Exactly. What are the examples that I can kind of borrow from them to see what their strengths are, so I can reflect some of those stories in my application? What does the UK really do in Nigeria? Exactly. For someone to invest in you, it's an investment really. So why should they invest in you? Why should they really put you in touch with this amazing network of Cheveners worldwide? What will you do with that? So it's really all about research. What does Chevening really stand for? And the simple thing is, there are two things. It's all about leadership and networking. So if you don't get these two things right, your application would definitely
be debunked straight away.
It definitely can be strong. So this is one thing. A lot of people even ask them, what is networking? They don't even know. And for something that is really strong on, building networks, a global network, anything you say about Chevening is all about an online network of 50,000 people. So if you don't understand what networking is, how do you think you're going to pass on your message to them to ensure that you can be picked from the pack of people who are going to be applying every year? So again, research. People don't even take the time to understand. Look through the website. They say, oh yeah, I want to apply. Have you gone on the website? No, just tell me. People are just lazy, to be honest. No, it's true.
I knew that was coming.
It's true.
I knew that was coming.
I told them, I'm like, okay, this is the website. Go there. When you need when you have a particular question for me, then come to me. Don't tell me, I can't do all the work for you. If you won't go there and research and look yourself, there's little or no of anyone can give you really.
Yeah. I totally agree with Jibike, and I always told people that, and from feedback in just how many days I announced, because I recently got my final award letter and I put it on social media, chosen for Chevening and all of that, and I was like, go to the website, and the response was like, why can't you just tell us what you did now? Do you understand? And I'm just like, it's not about me not telling you. Somebody said, oh, send me your essays. And I'm just like, I can't, it's not like, I'm not holding information. The information literally is right there waiting for you to see it. It's on the website. Like, the first, now, my story is very different. I'm sure you get it. This was my second application. The first application, I didn't even smell interview at all. And it was honestly because I was very afraid. The first time when I went on the Chevening website and I saw the Chevening alumni, I was like, wait, what? Can I really? You understand? Like the alumni, they are strong in whatever space they're in. Yeah, do you understand? So I already got that, oh, it's too competitive, you can't get it. And so I just applied anyway. And I realized that applying anyway is not going to get you for Chevening. No. You have to apply intentionally. You have to be intentional about what information you're giving. You'll be amazed at how much you've done in your life, but because you don't think it's a big deal, you feel like, But working with, like, because Jibike held like a road show in different states in Nigeria, and I was so glad. I'm still so glad I went for it, because there we had people speak. A lot of representatives of universities in UK came, and they talked to us about the application process and what they are really looking for. You know, it's one thing to have something inside of you, but the person who is reading your application really doesn't know it. You know,
context,
so
really,
context is really everything. So for me, it was applying intentionally. Now that's my second tip: be intentional with your application. Don't just say, "Oh, okay, this is what you want," and then copy and paste. That's
plagiarism, guys. Don't fall for it.
Don't do it.
Yep.
Don't do it. You know. So I for me, those are my first two tips. Now, what other tips would you like to give us, Jibike?
I think one, it's really about structure, time. So because you know it's a 3-month window, you tend to leave it to the very last minute. And you don't like, you don't leave, you say, oh, I can do it. A lot of us try to do things last minute, right? And trust me, I'm like that as well. I like doing things last minute. But you have like 4 essays to write. And that's like, apart from the personal information that you have to fill in. And those 4 essays, it takes a long time for you to get one essay right. If you're really going to be intentional, like she said, you want to try to put the right structure, tell a story, sell yourself in the best possible light, and then send to somebody to get a second pair of eyes to go through it, you know, edit again. This takes time. So if you're limited into like the last 2 weeks of application, there's no way you can really effectively sell the best part of yourself. Because these people you have assessors from London first who are going to look through these applications. A lot of them kind of have an idea about what works in Nigeria, but they still are not here. So it's very difficult for you trying to paint, oh, this is what I've achieved, and you don't really tell it in the right way. They get bored in the first place because they have thousands of applications to read through. In Nigeria, you probably receive about 6,000 applications every year. That's just for Nigerians alone. So imagine how many things they have to do. So you have to be, it's been, again, she said they've been deliberate, but the time helps you to be deliberate. Because if you don't have enough time, there's no way you'll be able to like do all of these things. So first, apply on time. Even if you're not going to start the application process, at least go there and start reading and start taking notes
of how you
little
want it
things
to go,
like, oh, what kind of story can I tell? Okay, I know what they're asking. I'll just put notes down. Then you look for a weekend, draw everything together. But if you don't put enough time into this process, there's no way you can do all of these things I'm saying. So that's one. Secondly is just knowing how to tell your story right. And I always tell people when I do marketing roadshows and stuff that a lot of Nigerians don't know how to tell stories. You see stories, in fact, there's some stories that should not even feature. No, it's the fact. Leadership. So because, well, you know, I'm the firstborn. If you being a firstborn is not trying to tell a particular story, it's irrelevant. Don't bring it into it. I was the class captain of my primary school. You're applying for a master's program. Why would you need to start? Like, there's so many things. If you have to rely on leadership skills of primary school. Come on, what did you do in university? What have you done after university? This is not just any leadership program. It's for you to go and study for a postgraduate master's degree. So, to be honest, there's some things you just need to cut out. And the structure of your story, there's a way you need to let them into your story, carry them through to the end. Because when somebody is tired, has been reading a lot of applications, start the first 2 lines. Those first 3 lines actually determine how much interest, how much focus really they're going to put on the rest of your story. So I always give people the advice: structure it with a STAR approach.
Oh, I knew you were getting there.
I'm always going to say that because
everything. Trust me, trying to cut you short, Jibike, but I can promise you, between you and I, that's the number one thing that radically changed my application. Like I say, I'm so grateful for that roadshow. You can't even understand. Like that's our approach worked in every step of the application. It worked even up until my interview. When you are asked a question, when you answer with that approach, they can't ask you anything else because you've outlined everything possible.
They can follow it. They understand it. So they don't need to ask you. And the problem is that when they keep asking you follow-up questions rather, you think, oh my God, I'm flunking. But they're actually trying to help you, to guide you through the things they want to hear. But that's aside. So back to the application. You want to turn in your application, you have 4 essays.
500 words.
Yeah. Even if they've asked you, just tell us something, they didn't ask a question or give us an example. every little opportunity you have, give an example to showcase, because there's no way they can tell what you can do if you don't show them what you've done in the past.
Yeah.
So your S.T.A.R situation, you can actually go and read up a lot about this. It's everywhere online. Competency-based style questions.
Yeah.
The S.T.A.R, situation, the task, the action, and the result. Now, your situation and your task should be like a very concise summary of, what took place, what you had to do.
Yeah.
The action is really what matters.
Yeah.
So what did you as a person do? You worked as part of a team. Fine.
Super.
But in that team, what did you help that team achieve? Like the results. What was your role? So a lot of people I don't want to act as if I'm
I'm a know-it-all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I worked with the team. We did first things first. Remember
they're not paying for we. They're paying for you.
I did this, and then it helped us to achieve this.
Yeah.
Like you need to get results. Basically, I can go all day about the S.T.A.R approach, but really structure your essays right. So be intentional about the way you tell your stories. It is very, very important, because if you don't do it right, you're going to lose them. So even if there are things that are really important and you put them at the tail end of the story, they won't even get there. Or by the time they get there, their attention span has really dropped. So it's really baseless.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Jibike. What I would like to add, what she also taught me, and a number of old scholars taught me, was adding figures, numbers to like, okay, you were a social media influencer, for example, because now that's an actual thing, and we've seen social media advocacy, we've seen social media change actual policy. So that is a big thing, but it's not tangible. So you have to make it tangible. Yeah. You have to add figures. Okay, so when I took on this project, it was at 10%. This. By the time I was on this project, it was at 60%. Now I want to say there that do not lie.
Don't exaggerate.
Don't exaggerate. Don't lie. Just give it proper structure. It's one thing to have been able to talk to 10,000 women at several conferences, but if you say I spoke to a number of women at 20 conferences, that's the only number you've given there is 20.
Specific.
Exactly. So at each conference, I was able to speak to 500 women. So if you spoke to 500 women at 20 conferences, you can see numbers. So also adding numbers to your application is very important. I would also like to chip in that don't be ambiguous. I see a lot of people, especially when they even DM me, like, using English that is right out of the dictionary. I'm just simple. Like, you don't even talk like that normally. Like, I can understand wanting to sound very intelligent, very cerebral, yes, but don't be ambiguous, because you just, when they eventually want to interview you and you don't sound like your essay application, it now looks like you're lying.
Besides, don't even try to sound intelligent. Just be yourself. Like, tell a story. When you're telling a story to kids, you're not trying to give them the big words. You're just trying to tell them exactly what happened. The way, carry them along. So don't try to use the big grammar. Keep it simple. And please. This is very important.
Very.
Go through your essays over and over again. And not just you. Give somebody else. Because if I write something, best believe it, I'm going to read exactly the same way it was in my head.
Yes.
So read it out, because a lot of Nigerian applications actually come with lots of grammatical errors.
Really?
Yes. So which is why people ask me, but I studied English and I schooled
this.
I was taught in English. I'm like, there's no way that can fly. So my English language test should be wait for me. If you see the kind of English that people put in their essays, seriously,
you don't even want to waive it.
There's no way. So please always read through, because nobody wants to start any essay. You're reading halfway through, and you've seen lots of blunders. You won't even finish, and there are really like good substance in there. So don't do that. Another very important thing is, why are they investing in you? Or why should they invest in you?
Career plan.
Before your career plan, you need to understand, what does the UK do in Nigeria? Because the real aim of Chevening, right, is to develop future leaders who will eventually become lifelong friends
with the UK.
Yeah.
So representatives who have a blend of both Nigeria and the UK experience.
If you don't understand what the UK think is important, what their priorities are, what are they currently doing, how would you really tap into that long term? I can only be friends with somebody I think has something similar with. You understand? Something there's value.
Yeah.
So do you understand? You can actually be studying the most abstract course, But you must be able to tie it into something that the UK stands for.
Yeah.
So, for instance, I once interviewed somebody who wanted to go and study museum studies or something. When I saw the application, I was like, okay, this is nice, but okay, why should we invest in you to go and study? Like, it's just not one of those things that are really
priority
museum, like here, right now. So, and then across the table, it was actually talking about, jobs, the youth, like, you need to be able to tie. So, I momentarily forgot about, this guy's going to do something in the museum. Because
he was able to tie it back in.
The idea is you want to invest in somebody who can add the greatest multiplier effect.
Yeah.
How many people are studying museum studies? How many people are in that line? Do you understand? So before you want to invest in someone that is doing museum studies, you probably want to invest in somebody that is doing economics or energy, like somebody who you can immediately see before the person even talks. You understand what they're going to achieve.
Yeah.
But this guy was able to bring it into what we see. We talk about every day: jobs, youth empowerment, development, like everything. So whatever it is that you do, one thing I'll tell you is if you're not following the social media handles of the UK and Nigeria, go and do that now, because that's one place. Apart from doing your research online, what is the UK doing? That's one thing you can be able to see exactly what they're doing every day, what the priorities are, what the different departments are doing in Nigeria. So you can tailor your application and let it at least align with at least one. And you should be able to drop names as well.
Yeah.
You said, I'm doing this. For instance, I probably saw her application and she talked about how she was doing something about girls, and she linked it to say what DFID is doing or what British Council is doing. That is how you get the attention, really. Mm-hmm. So when she talked about research, she wasn't joking.
It's a lot of research, because for me, the kind of course I did, I didn't really do that much research, because I did international relations as a BSc. Yeah. So you're talking about updates, live updates, things that are happening now. Yeah, we did a bit of history, but research wasn't really our core. And so for me, it was kind of a struggle to research, but I had to, because I knew that I wanted scholarship. I knew that I wanted to come back and impact people. Because I know people have asked me, so are you going to come back? I'm like, yes. And they're going, Tife. I'm like, yeah, because the truth is this. First and foremost, I've never really said I wanted to live in the UK. I don't know why. It was never really a thought like, I'm going to the UK to live. I've always wanted to do a master's in the UK though. So when I saw Shibi, obviously it was a win-win. Yeah. So I know what I want to do with my life. I'm living a life of impacting people.
You even have to return. So if you're looking for a way to go, then maybe you should just
not use Shibi, because there's a clause. Hello.
You have to sign it.
You have to come back.
Yes. Agreement.
So you have to come back. So even aside that, like, I've always wanted to give back. I feel like that's the essence of life itself. People who are privileged to know should come back and give to people who don't know. So for me, it's like you have to do your research. You can't just say. Also, something alongside research is knowing the courses you want to do. I saw a lot of people because we created a group, the Old Scholars alumni, God bless all of them, Maiwa, Larry, Anu, they created a group for new intakes, and they were schooling all of us. And a lot of people there, they had a BSc in maybe human resource, and they were going to do public health. And so Anu kept asking, Larry kept asking, Maiwa, how does it tie in? Why the transition? If you have, you've done some volunteer work in public health, now that will tie in, even though I did HR, this is the line I want to go, this is the reason why. So I always say, let the 3 university choices be synced. You can't be all over the place, because when you look all over the place, now seems like, you just want to use Shiv to get any kind of masters and come back. No. So I think
I would say be very clear, because clarity is something that we need to see to understand, one, your university choices or your course choices, and even your career plan. So I'm going to kind of put all of this into one mix. So you're going to study something in probably law, and you're in your next, because you have 3 choices, right? Your second or third choice is maybe economics, or how do they align?
How?
And I'm not saying you can't. A lot of us want to be different things. I probably wanted to be.
I wanted to be a pediatrician when I was young.
Trust me, let's not even go to all the things I still want to be. But for the purpose of actually applying for scholarship, you need to show that you have your head on your shoulders at that point where you're applying. You know exactly what you want to do with this. You know where you're going to go. You have an idea of, this is where I currently am. Paint a picture for them. In my organization, whether you're a business person, an entrepreneur, this is where I currently sit. My organization is currently on this capacity. Yeah. When I get it, this is what I'm going to use it to do. This is what the knowledge. So the modules, break it down. Have you researched your courses? Have you researched the university? Why have you chosen those universities? Why those courses? Not just because, okay, just do it, right? I'll pick
anything.
anyone. No, you need to understand why. What makes those ones like very different from any other one that you probably would have chosen?
Yeah.
Those ones. And then your career is very, very important. Where are you currently and what are you trying to achieve? You see, this is like the most important, because to be honest, when it has that you should have at least a minimum of 2 years work experience.
They know what
they're
they're
looking for people that have an idea as to where they're going.
Yeah, not
people
just
that are investing in you. They're looking at ROI.
ROI, return on investment, of course.
How long is it going to take me to realize the benefit on this person? You've seen from Nigeria, we probably had like 2 ministers. We've had lots of commissioners. We want to see, okay, calculate mentally. How long is it going to take this person to either become a commissioner, to become a CEO, to become
founder,
a country director? We need to see that, because again, we're building what? Leaders. People who are going to rise to those positions of leadership where we can now say, yes, we invested in these people. This is where they are right now. Anybody that is investing in you needs to know that come this in 10 years time, it's not always going to be that, because you can't really predict it, but at the same time you need to have like
an idea, like, okay, this person is on this trajectory going to this place already. Yeah.
So if you can't paint the picture like I actually know what I'm doing right now, sometimes you don't really know, but you have to be able to pass that message that you actually know.
Even if you have 10 things you want to do, this is what I would always say,
group it. Sometimes you can even choose one, but
tie
them into
together
and say this is actually what, and then this I'm going together. And not just say this is what I want to do by the age of 25. I want to become a commissioner. By then I want to become a governor, and then I'll become a president in 10 years. How? What you're going to study now? Where does it fit into all of this plan?
Yeah.
What is it going to help you achieve? Why should we even give you? If you don't need it, then maybe you should just stay back. If you're already this and that, so try not to be too boastful. Like I've achieved this, I've achieved that. Let them know that there's a need for this. This is the gap that I'm currently wanting to use this thing to bridge, and this is what's going to help me achieve. And so if I can do this, I can network. Anyways, I'll come to networking like maybe last. But your career plan has to be very, very clear. Sit down. In fact, I tell people, if you're not sure about whether you can really pass through the next stage of achievement, if for anything, just sit down and write businesses, because it helps you with clarity. It helps you to really piece out the things in your life.
It does. It's like for me, I did international relations, like I said before, but I've had 2 years experience in communications and media, and I've also been a volunteer for NGOs. So now I am very passionate about the girl child. So I am women empowerment, war against rape, sanctuary aid for Nigerian girls. So my course is ties, all of that ties in, because it's media communications and development, right? So what I plan to do, and when I said that, I could tell that the partner, they were like, oh, okay, everything ties in. It's tech, which is communications, and then empowering the girl child. So everything tied together. So like she said, it's important that it all ties in, because if your career plan is disjointed, it's going to look like, okay, so this thing you're going to study, how is it going to help you on this path? Now, so we don't make this video too long. What is the last and final thing you want to say to people who are applying? Because the applications are out now, and August 6th, the applications open again, and it's another 3 months of this same process. So what would you really say they should do?
I think it's just reflection, really, because if you don't reflect, you probably will not even know the things that you've achieved, and you really need to be passing across in your essays. And sometimes when you reflect, you actually come to the realization that, okay, maybe I'm actually not ready for this right now. I can try it just to kind of practice, but maybe I'll really be ready by next year. So these are the things I need to do in that 1 year to prepare me, so that by the time that next year comes, I'm super ready. That's, by the way, what have I achieved so far? Getting the scholarship, you should know that it's not just about you. It's using you to reach other people around you that can't get it. So when they ask you, so why Chevening? Why did you apply? Try to not get lost in the fact that, so I want to do this. I like, what can you do for your country? Because it's all about that. We're building leaders that would actually help develop Nigeria. So don't lose sight of that. The big picture, really. What are you going to do to help develop Nigeria? And lastly, how are you going to help strengthen that UK-Nigeria partnership? And that leads me to where I said, research what they're doing, know what it is that you can how you can say, okay, so I believe that we're able to help them achieve this and all of that. So tie it in. Lastly, it's all also linked to the UK-Nigeria partnership. reason why we build a network of people is because we want them to keep this whole thing going. The same, it's all about the same aim or the same goal, development of all countries. So it's global development basically. How are you going to stay connected to that network? A lot of people don't even understand what networking is. So please, if you're watching this video, first things first, go and understand what networking is. Because most Nigerians don't know. They think it's just, like, really, what have you done? So that you understand if what you've done or what you think you've done in networking actually reflects networking. So you don't come saying things and then you're looking like, seriously?
Exactly.
Who is this person? Chevening is about 3 things: leadership, networking, and developing Nigeria. And to develop Nigeria, trust me, also meeting UK-Nigeria partnership, because we're here. The UK is here to ensure that it's shared prosperity for shared development for us. So both for Nigeria and UK. So those 3 things, make sure you reflect it in your essays.
Yes.
I think and pray.
I hope that this video has been able to help somebody out there. And if you have any other further questions, you can ask me. My handle on Twitter is @LadyTips. On Instagram is Faborede. You can reach me on my channel. Whatever way I'm able to help, I will. Also, one last thing I'd like to say is it's important that you yourself know why. Know your own why. Don't look. Yes, it's important to look at other scholars, look at their alumni, but you know the reason why you want to go. Don't just do it because I need to apply and I must apply for a scholarship. No, because everybody looked at me when I said I applied for just Chevening because I knew that's what I wanted. I didn't want any random scholarship. No, I wanted Chevening for various reasons. So everything we've said here is very, very important in your application process. I'm hoping I can do a video about the interview process when it gets to that time. But catch you guys later. Hope you had fun. See our fine faces. Bye, guys.